we are just being informed that a joint military and police anti-galamsey task force deployment is currently underway at a Burma Camp in Accra. 400 personnel are being deployed to mining communities in the Western, Central and Ashanti regions to step up efforts by governments to clamp down on illegal mining. President Akufo-Addo is expected to commission at the Burma Camp soon, and those are both personnel and logistics for the task. Now, we understand that ceremony is currently ongoing. Maxwell Agbagba was at Burma Camp this morning. He observed the process underway, leading to the deployment of the troops from both the police and the military. But let's go there now live and join the program.
View of the special significance of the operation that we are about to launch today, additional logistical resources have been procured in terms of vehicles, tentage, clothing, and medicals to enhance operational effectiveness. Approval has also been given to redesignate this operation with a distinctive code name, which will be formally announced by the chairman of the Interministerial task force in his address. Today's event is unique in a number of ways. First of all, the personnel drawn from the military and the police were assembled at the Bondasi training camp for intensive pre-deployment training. The Joint Task Force commander is from the Army, while the deputy is an experienced senior police officer. The training period at the Bondasi training camp afforded the force the opportunity to work together with a view to enhancing their interoperability. On Tuesday, the 25th of July this year, the IGP and I accompanied the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and the National Security Advisor on a visit to the task force at Bondasi. The Honorable Minister was there to deliver a lecture as part of the training of the force. The task force has been divided into 3 operational bases and assigned commanders and appointments at various levels. Since the force is likely to be widely dispersed, effective junior leadership will be critical to success. Therefore, one guiding principle will be the man-on-the-spot command doctrine. We expect all ranks to use their initiative and professional judgment correctly. I urge you, members of the task force, to go forth with courage and fortitude. Go forth with a clear conscience, because the cause for this operation is the right cause. And finally, I urge you to work as a team and with a selfless nationalist spirit. With such an approach to work, I have no reason to doubt the success of this venture. Indeed, as I said at Bondasi, failure is not an option. We shall put an end to all forms of illegal mining activity through this operation. Thank you all for your attention, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, the CDS. Next, I wish to respectfully invite the Inspector General of Police, Mr. David Asante-Akie, to give us a statement.
Honorable Ministers of State, the CDS, members of the Police Management and Advisory Board, members of the High Command of the Military, senior officers, invited guests, men and women of our forces, the media, officers and men. The high incidence of galamsey, or illegal small-scale mining in recent times, has occupied the minds of many citizens of the country, to the extent some are questioning how did we all start and how did we get to this stage of blatant recklessness. In fact, the majority of the Ghanaian public are confused over the entire activities of galamsey and galamseyers. The images of the effects of this menace is very disturbing, to the state the least. The effects are very debilitating, and we've all witnessed massive environmental destruction, reckless pollution, avoidable deaths, and most recently, the growing tendency of violence, which is inherent in this illegal activity. The police administration has also identified threats to law and order resulting from the coordinated activities of the galamseyers. Honorable Ministers, the police administration is of a firm conviction that the government's multi-targeted approaches to solving this menace will yield the desired results. Additionally, the police administration is hopeful the mining activities will be properly regulated to allow a sustained mining for economic development. Honorable Ministers, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, as you all are witnessing, we have on our hands the singular responsibility to stop illegal mining once and for all in our communities. Our task is to enforce the laws. We are to get the deviants who disregard our mining and environmental regulations brought to justice. Our duty is to ensure the laws that preserve the sanctity of our environment are respected and adhered to. Additionally, our task is to ensure the laws guiding prospecting for mineral resources are respected and strictly observed. In doing so, we will be guided by the highest standards of professionalism and respect for human rights as well as the freedoms of our citizens. Officers and men deploying, the entire citizens of this country look up to you to save the nation from the associated evils of illegal mining. As your commanders, we are looking up to you to deliver on the mandate entrusted unto us by the people of this country. We cannot fail our people, and we cannot fail our generation, and we must not fail the generation to come. At this point in time, let me assure the government and the people of Ghana that the police administration has faith in its officers and men deploying. The police administration has faith in its joint efforts with the military targeted to save our environment from further degradation. The leadership of this joint efforts can assure the nation it has prepared the officers for this unique task. Honorable Ministers, I want to assure the communities we will be deploying that everyone should be free to go about his or her normal life and normal duty. The deployment is not a force to intimidate anybody, but rather a force to stop unacceptable behavior that we all as citizens abhor. I would like to thank the government for this bold effort to save our land, forests, and water resources. And I thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, the Inspector General of Police. Next, I wish to respectfully invite the Minister for Interior, Honorable Ambrose Derry, to give us a word.
Honorable Ministers of State, Honorable Members of Parliament, CDS, IGP, the generals, officers, and men of both the armed forces and the police service, our dear friends of the media practitioners, ladies and gentlemen. The promise by Mr. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to fix the galamsey problem has been clear and unwavering. purpose, stop illegal mining, reverse the damage for the use of present generation and generations unborn. Our role as security agencies is to make sure that those processes to fix the galamsey problem are pursued in peace and security. On that, no compromise. What we expect of you, the personnel, commitment and professionalism. That you don't abandon your obligations when you are influenced by any other person, and that professionally you are guided by the law. Respect the rights of those you deal with, but where necessary, the law permits you to use reasonable force, which is determined by the force of your opponent. Your targets, actors, illegal miners, regardless of their nationality, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Togolese, Beninois, English, American, Chinese, Russian, among others. The only criterion, are you an illegal miner or collaborator, period. In this, I wish you all successful operation, and may God bless you and bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ambrose Derry. Now is a statement by the Minister for Defense. May I respectfully invite Honorable Dominic Nitu to address us.
The Chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Honorable Professor Fumpom Boatin, and Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, colleague ministers, the Chief of Defense Staff, the IGP, service commanders, the CDS, the Chief of Staff at the General Headquarters, formation commanders, and of course, the command structure of the Joint Task Force, all the protocol listed by the CDS truly observed, and my friends from the media. Where did we do wrong, and where did we go wrong to get to this stage that a government would have to put a team together to go and stop illegal mining? Illegal mining that has assumed international standards that our neighbors are complaining that we are spoiling their waters. What is it as a country that we have done that indiscipline has pervaded the society to the extent that people believe that destroying the rivers, destroying the environment to make money is better than others getting water to drink, and that it is better than others getting land to farm. As you go into the field to help the people of Ghana stop forever these menace of illegal mining that has rendered people and rendered systems not able to produce water, rendered rivers dried of fish, and rendered land invaluable to farming. I wish and I hope that when we tell this story, it will be a story of success. A different approach is being used to Operation Hot 1 and 2, where the task force was used for only 2-3 days and being done on a firefighting standard and moved away. You are being tasked to go and stay and stop this. I know that the men and women of the Ghana Armed Forces are professionals. The men and women of the police service are professionals, and you will do a professional job. But that is the reason why I will make it straight to the people who are daring the task force not to do that. Because the country is behind the task force. Don't dare them. It will not be in your interest to dare them. The country is behind them, and they will do everything and anything to make this mission a success. We in Ghana know that other than maybe Greater Accra and some small portion of Volta region, the whole country is covered by the activities of illegal miners. To the extent that individuals and companies could own as much and as many as 500 excavators who destroy our land. Today we have over 5,000 excavators all over this country, destroying every land that we can find. This cannot allow to continue. And I thank Mr. President for saying that this must stop. Like he said, we are not against illegal mining. We are not against mining. We are not against mining. In fact, we would encourage mining, but we are against illegal mining. We encourage mining in a disciplined, sustained, and productive manner. And that is why the minister has announced, for Lands Environment has announced, that a program will be put together to ensure that Ghanaians get the opportunity to mine, but illegal mining must be stopped. And we believe this group will stop illegal mining and stop it forever. From Boile to Chibi to Western region, all these areas are engulfed of illegal mining. And I'm happy that the president says this must stop, and today you are moving. You are the first batch to move. Do as proud. But be mindful that in an environment of social media, where you may even have the media personnel covering your activities on a daily basis, you must be professionals. And I believe you are professionals. God see you through. We will be there to visit you as ministers who are working with you. Anytime there's opportunity, we'll visit you. May God see you through. You have our back. We shall be with you in prayer and in work and in deeds. And the government will provide you with the resources to continue to do this. Thank you very much, and God guard you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dominic Mutu.
Interesting display there from the 400 troops in the joint military and police task force combating galamsey. Let me come back to the studio. We'll soon be going back because we're expecting the president to be speaking at that same event at Burma Camp. So let's not get off topic because, you know, my producer will say the universe has aligned. And Chief Superintendent Marcus Amabach, you are with the Migration Information Bureau. Yes. A major element of this galamsey force, like you heard the Interior Minister refer to, Mr. Ambrose Derry, are the foreign nationals who are involved in galamsey, yes, and who are breaking immigration laws and who are breaking that part of the Natural Resources Law, which states that foreign nationals must not engage themselves in small-scale mining. So from your office, what have you been doing about this?
Well, thanks. Just not trying to veer off, but in support of what the government is also doing. Our Immigration Service has a full unit called the Enforcement Unit, and then we are plainclothes personnel, and then they are always on the ground trying to make sure.
Okay, Chief, let me hold that thought for me. The Minister of Environment and Science, Technology and Innovation is speaking. He's the head of the Interministerial Committee against galamsey. Let's hear him now.
General Headquarters, senior military and police officers, the Joint Task Force Commander and his deputy, the Forces Sergeant Major and Service Sergeant Major and their equivalents, men and women of the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police Service, friends from the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and a rare privilege for me to address you, gallant men in uniform. I do so as chairman of the Interministerial Task Force Against Illegal Mining, set up by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and I speak on behalf of my other colleagues on the committee, namely Mr. Dominic Nitiwu, the Honorable Minister for Defense, Mr. Ambrose Derry, the Honorable Minister for the Interior, Mr. John Peter Amewu, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Joseph Kofi Adda, the Honorable Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Madam Hajia Alima Mahama, the Honorable Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Mr. Kofi Jamesi, the Honorable Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Mr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, the Honorable Minister for Information, Mr. Daniel Kwaku Botwe, the Honorable Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, and the committee is strongly assisted and advised by Dr. Anthony Akuto-Osei, the Honorable Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation, and Mr. Abed Kandapa, the Honorable Minister for National Security. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here on a historic occasion for a major national assignment, to launch the operation to curb the menace of illegal mining as directed by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Without any doubt, this operation against illegal mining is of great importance. Its success will help to safeguard our water bodies, flora and fauna, and indeed our biodiversity in general, and guarantee our very survival as a people. This presidential initiative, as ordered by the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was kick-started with an ultimatum by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to all illegal miners to stop operations and withdraw their equipment from the illegal mining sites. This initiative has actively been supported by the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining and other civil society organizations. In spite of this ban, information gathered has confirmed the continuous presence of recalcitrant miners who carry out their illegal activities, usually under the cover of darkness. The recent collapse of a mining pit in Nsuta near Prestia in the Western region, which trapped 24 miners working underground, and the most recent incident at Oweri mines, where a miner fell into a leftover pit and died, paint a worrying picture of the dire consequences of illegal mining. It has therefore become imperative for this operation to be launched to flush out illegal miners from the forest and catchment areas of our rivers, including all water bodies. The initial deployment will be the three most affected regions, namely Eastern, Ashanti, and Western. However, as time goes on, other regions will be covered. Let no one think that this is going to be a 9-day wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, this task force will remain in the affected areas until degraded land and rivers are restored and reforestation program undertaken. Thereafter, another team to be made up of personnel from the Ghana Navy and Marine Police will take over the monitoring of the major rivers and water bodies until illegal activities are completely eradicated. This may take several months, perhaps years. Towards this end, the Ministries of Land and Natural Resources, Local Government and Rural Development, and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs have held stakeholder seminars with metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies and our chiefs and key mothers on the need to support the initiative. We hope such support will be forthcoming for this joint military and police task force. While on the deployment of this joint task force, it is important to make an important comment for the information of the general public. There are a number of mining companies that have been duly licensed and granted concessions by the Minerals Commission. However, due to security challenges and threats to their properties and encroachment on their concessions, these companies have applied through the Ghana Chamber of Mines for memorandum of understanding with the Ghana Army for the provision of detachment of armed soldiers to augment their security staff in order to protect their vital interests. Therefore, under these MOUs, military personnel are deployed in certified mining sites. It is significant to mention that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources put up a public notice with a list of certified companies covered by the MOU and the daily graphic of Wednesday, 12 July 2017. The general public is therefore entitled to note the distinction between this operation and the deployment under the MOUs to protect those sites. Now to the members of the Joint Task Force and your commanders. You would testify from your training at the Bundasi camp, coupled with the acquisition of new vehicles and other logistics, that the government is committed to the success of this operation. Other administrative arrangements have been made through their respective headquarters. The CDS and RGP have indicated that joint arrangements have been made for your feeding, medical, and other common needs. Government has also released funds for some allowances to be paid to you whilst you are deployed away from your families. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I want to shift focus and introduce the leadership of the Joint Task Force, namely Colonel William Japan, Joint Task Force Commander, Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. Abraham Akwe, Deputy Joint Force Commander.
Information about the bill, but we know that
we apologize for that glitch in transmission there. That was the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng. Let me come back to you, Chief Superintendent. Just in a minute, what are your thoughts about what is happening today?
Yeah, very good, and it is in the right direction. I believe that if we have the support of government, the executive, I mean, things will work well for us, and I believe that we should. I mean, it's high time we went into this, but better late than never. I believe.
And how is your unit supporting these efforts?
You know, I don't know whether you are aware that you don't normally hear of these non-Ghanaians involved in the mining these days. That is to say that immigration has put structures and systems into place to make the visa regimes and residence permit regimes very stringent, and such that our enforcement teams have also been revamped and then been given the power to do more visitations with a lot of support from our management, our current management. So that is how come you don't normally hear these days that Chinese and other nationals are involved in this menace. So
you believe the numbers have gone down?
Definitely so.
Some would say they are simply in hibernation. They are simply waiting and they'll come back.
Well, I can't speak to that, but point is that if you cannot hear and I don't hear, it means that there is something being done. And I can assure you that the Ghana Immigration Service has really put structures in place to curb the influx of non-Ghanaians, especially in the Galamsey menace.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Mark Asamoah-Boakye. Unfortunately, we were unable to finish our conversation there about human trafficking, but we will do on another occasion.